Hello, this is Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and recently I purchased a Bebop 2 Power model drone, and doing just fine with that. But the Power model uses a higher voltage LiPo battery than the Bebop 2, which I had originally. And I had a really nice charger. I still have it, but this Tenergy charger, which cost about $50 and came with a power supply and everything, does not cover the LIHV battery that comes with the power model. So I had to go buy a new balanced charger. By the way, I'm a firm believer in balanced chargers, so I I go out of my way to explain all that on other videos. But anyway, so this is my Accu6 battery balanced charger, and I'm running it off of the power supply that came with the Tenergy, because the price is lower if you have your own power supply. I think this was like $38 or something like that by the time I got shipping and everything. So it does, like for instance, it doesn't come with the fancy plugs and all that, but I had that already, so that was fine. Anyway, we'll just take a quick look at this, and I'll show you some of the features on it. This is actually, they have lower price models. If you don't go with an 80 watt, you can go with a 50 watt and pay a little less. But first of all, before I go any further, I got this from Hobby King, and on the Hobby King site, they have this have this little attention, and it's kind of a warning, because if you have watched any of my previous videos, I fell for the cheap price of a cheap Chinese charger that would cover the LIHV battery. Only thing is, it messed up my battery more than charging it, but I think it's going to be okay. So I will read what it says. It's here on a piece of paper. I'll read it very quickly. They say, "Attention, there are several chargers now entering the China market that look similar to the AccuCell. These chargers are produced with cheaper FETs and are unfortunately much less accurate and very unsafe," and that's very true. "There has been reports of the copied chargers overcharging packs and not balancing correctly." And I won't go on, but anyway, this is just their warning. And then they say the AccuCell 6 is the first charger in the market with this PCB, printed circuit board layout circuit design. Any charger with the same circuit design is most definitely a copy. And they go on to explain. So if you have seen some of my previous videos, you know I fell for the trick of the cheap Japanese one, and it almost ruined my battery. So let's just take a look at some of the functions on here. I'm interested in LiPo batteries, but it will charge LiFe, that's a lithium iron, and Li, oh, I don't know what the IO is, but anyway, different types of batteries. There's the one I needed it for, the LiHV, and oh, this is a nickel. I don't know what AMH stands for. And of course a nickel cadmium, we know that one, most of us do, and a lead acid battery, and it has a battery meter on it. And since I have a battery connected, let's just take a look at it. So we'll hit the start button, and it says my voltage on cell 1 is 3.95, on cell 2 is 3.97, on cell 3 is 3.95. And then if I hit the status button, that gives me the total voltage, which is 11.87, and the highest cell is number 3, which is 9.67 volts, and the lowest cell is, I'm sorry, it's not going to be the lowest cell of the 3. I'm sorry, the lowest cell is 3.948 volts. This is 3.967, so the highest cell is this amount, lowest cell is that amount. So let's get out of here, and there's another feature here. Yeah, battery resistance. Now we're going to take a look at this one. Have you ever noticed, most grown-ups have, you try to start your car and it goes round, 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 and it won't start. And so you think the battery's dead. So you put a charger on the battery, and then you go to start it, and it still goes round, 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 round. And you can't figure out what's going on. And until somebody, like a mechanic, says you have to clean the contacts on the cables that hook to the battery. And so you take the contacts, you unscrew them, you get a little wrench, take them off, and then use a pocket knife or a wire brush and clean the battery and clean the contacts, put it back together, and the car starts up real easy. That's because there's resistance between the starter motor and the battery. And of course, that's external resistance. But batteries also have internal resistance. And so this is an older battery that was given to me by a friend, and I use it for a lot of things. It's a good battery. I've flown with it. But anyway, so let's just hit start and see what the battery resistance is. Okay. Now this is measuring in milliohms, and so cell number 1 has 41 milliohms. That's a thousandth of an ohm. In other words, it's like 4/10 of an ohm. Cell number 2 is 48 milliohms, and cell number 3 is 39 milliohms. And if we hit the plus, then we see that the total resistance of the inside of this battery is about 1.25 ohm, 128 milliohms. Let me see, is that right? No, that's not right. Milliohms is 128 milliohms. That's about a little more than 1/10 of an ohm. I'm sorry. And then the highest cell has 48 milliohms, and the lowest cell has 39 milliohms. So a resistance meter is a real handy thing. Let's get out of there for now, and let's put a new battery on there. We should have written down, what was it? The total resistance was 128 milliohms. All right, now this is a brand new, well, it's not brand new, it's a couple months old. And let's hit start, and it's checking the battery. And you notice that these cells have 17 milliohms, 10 milliohms, and 14 milliohms. And if we hit the total, we have a total of 41 milliohms. So a brand new battery has less resistance than an old battery. The reason is if the old battery has been overcharged or drawn current out of it until it's lower than it should be, the layers that make up the cells of the battery become like corroded, or in other words, they get burned up a little bit, and so then you have the current can't go through the battery like it would normally. So that's a nice. I've never had one that had resistance measurements on it, and so I kind of like that idea. All right, now let's go back through our settings. This is if you want to go in and change the settings, and we won't look at that. I've seen that. I've got another video on how to do that on these chargers. And then battery memory. If I want to save the settings for a particular battery, I can go in and do that. If I had a business of charging batteries and I had dozens of different ones to remember, or maybe just 3 or 4. But anyway, I don't normally use that, but you can go in and set this battery and do your settings, and then come back and store them. And then a LiPo battery. Okay, now if we wanted to charge this battery, we'd stick with the LiPo battery, but we want a LiHV battery. So we'll go through this again until we get to the LiHV. Then we hit the start button. And this is the balanced charge, but we don't want a balanced charge, or let's see, let's just go this way. There. Let's say we want to charge this, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the plus sign, and, oops, I'm sorry, we're going to hit the enter sign, and now it's saying, do you want to charge it with 2 amps? No, this is a 33 amp battery, so we'll go up here, or 33 milliamp. So that's where we would go, and it's not a 2-cell battery, it's a 3-cell battery. So we're going to go to the next one. Oops, we got to go here. Now we're going to go up to a 3-cell. Okay, now we're ready to charge, and so what it's going to do is it's going to warn us. Whoops, push a little longer here. It's checking the battery, okay, and we hit confirm. Now it warns us that This is just for a LIHV, because if I put that on this battery, it'll ruin the battery. So you have to be kind of careful. So I go ahead and, well, now it took too long, so let's start again here. All right, we'll hit confirm, and we'll hit yes, and it's going to go in, and it's going to start charging. And right now it's at 13.01 volts, but if we want to see what each cell is, we can hit the status button. So anyway, this is the charger that I would recommend you get if you're going to use a balanced charger to balance your Bebop batteries. If you, I'll hit stop there because I don't need to charge it. If you are getting a flashing red light on your Bebop charger, it's because your cells are not balanced. They're not the same. And so the one thing that you want to do is to keep that from happening is spend a little extra bucks and get a balanced charger. And I've got a video on how to make this cable that goes between the battery and the charger, or I also have them on my website available. But the best way to keep this battery running for a long time and keep it charged up properly is to use one of these balanced chargers and take good care of your battery, because the charger that comes with the Bebop, not a bad charger at all, but it doesn't keep the cells balanced. And I learned the hard way on my first Bebop. So I think that covers everything. And if you have any questions or comments, you can put them at the bottom below. And I want to thank you for watching, and God bless.